weird, confusing plot. We got Dave Bautista, the dude from Harry Potter, Rupert Grint, which, he clearly hasn't done much since Harry Potter, unfortunately for him. I don't know, I haven't really seen anything with him besides Harry Potter, though. Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson have gotten pretty famous and done their own thing. I don't think Rupert Grint has got as much fame, because he's literally the first character to die in this movie, too. And it's pretty early in. All the other characters last quite a bit longer, though not that long. It's just to try and make the movie more serious and realize that they're not messing around. And he's the first one to go. It really sucks for him, but I don't want to talk about that because I haven't talked enough about the movie yet. So there's these 4 characters that go to this random person's house in a random cabin because they had like a vision that they were supposed to go there, which I will go into more detail in a little bit. We got Dave Bautista, who plays like this decently nice guy. We got a girl who likes to cook. A girl who is a nurse, so she is by far the most important person, and she's the second one to go. Dave Bautista's the last. And then obviously Rupert Grint, who is a bit of an asshole and confirmed to be like a homophobic dude. They all have like symbols later in the movie. I don't remember all, but like to show them like the world or something. Like Rupert Grint's supposed to be malice. I don't remember what the other ones were. That's the only one I remember. So there's this gay couple, Eric and Andrew, and their daughter. They take you out of the movie so many times to try and get you to relate to them. But I was perfectly fine with the characters the way they are. They're entertaining enough. We have enough of their relationship. But they take you out of the movie when things start to get intense. And they're like, oh, hey, here's their parents that are shitty. Oh, hey, here's them adopting their child. Like, cool. I don't give a fuck. Get back to the real movie. Why would I care about this? Only one of these weird flashbacks is actually kind of relevant to the movie. And it's the one where Andrew gets attacked at the bar by somebody. And then that person ends up being Rupert Grint. But that really doesn't even matter either, because it was just a random house. It was just a pure coincidence that he was with Dave Bautista and all of them. So, I don't know. That shit was stupid to me, all the flashback shit. The actual movie was pretty entertaining. They believe they are supposed to save the world, and it looks like they were right and not crazy after all because of something that happens later in the movie. So they try and get, they say that they willingly have to sacrifice one of their own people. Like, Eric has to kill Andrew, or Andrew has to kill Eric, or they would have to kill the daughter, or the daughter would have to kill one of them. Which obviously they're not going to have them kill the daughter. That would be too fucked up, even for a movie. Anyways, so throughout the movie, at like random points in time that apparently the vision told them or whatever, they ask them if they're gonna kill one another, and then if they say no, they kill one another. So Rupert Grint gets killed first, then the girl that likes to cook, and then later the nurse girl doesn't get killed. like they were planning to, but because she gets shot by Andrew, who we found out. So I guess it's kind of important that because of the bar attack, that he bought a gun. So once again, the bar attack is really the only somewhat important flashback. The other stuff is just poor ass attempts of trying to flesh out the characters, which just don't work. It takes you out of the movie. They could have did the flashbacks before all the people came if they would have just made the fucking movie a little bit longer. You know, did it at least let the characters somewhat get developed. I still not a big fan of flashbacks in movies, period, unless they, are somewhat important. So I guess the bar scene is really the only important one. So he kills the nurse by shooting her, but he doesn't even fully kill her, I guess, because Dave Bautista kills her off screen, which is something they do a lot in this movie, even though it's rated R, where the deaths will be just off screen. Like, Rupert Grint gets his head bashed in just off screen. The cook girl gets her head bashed in just off screen. Dave Bautista slits his throat just off screen. Like, I don't know why they were not violent. Did they think they not need to be? That the message was good enough, I guess? Because I get maybe sometimes when you're going for a deeper message, that gore really takes you out of a movie. And you get like something brutal. But I just don't care enough about this movie for it to not take me out. Especially with it just cut like a PG-13 movie. Like Breaking In, for example. But yeah. It is decent enough and entertaining enough. But at the end of the day, it's not a very good movie. So eventually, Andrew kills Eric. His daughter's fine with it, because now she's convinced about the whole apocalypse shit too. Which I think she would be a little bit more upset because that's her dead father. But apparently not. That would be too much. And we see him go to like a random diner because she wants to eat or some bullshit, and then he turns on the news and basically it just tells you that, yeah, the apocalypse wasn't really gonna happen if he didn't kill Eric, because like all these miracles happen. Like, oh, this dad had two daughters that didn't know how to swim, and a tsunami was happening and some shit, and then the water just suddenly stopped. And then there was a bunch of other shit like that. They also showed us one of the two tsunamis happening. And it was just like, it felt like they were padding for runtime. Like, they're all just fucking standing there while the water's coming towards them for at least a solid minute and a half. Where it just felt like that. It was a fucking long ass time. They could have ran. Who just stands there when a giant fucking wave is coming towards you? It's stupid. It clearly looked like a tsunami even before it got close. But they just stand there. And I guess they all die. And yeah. The movie ends with them like turning the radio off and on back and forth. I guess it's supposed to be some indication of trauma is what I'm getting from the scene. He turns on the radio. It's a happy song. He turns it off. The daughter turns it back on. She turns it off, and then he turns it back on, and then they just kind of sit there. It's a very different movie. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of the movie, but I think it was entertaining enough for it to not be, considered that bad. But it's definitely something. That's for sure.